Survival is what you deem as necessary. I want you right now to picture the most successful people in your life, or anybody that you know outside of your life that is extremely successful. We can go as far as to say billionaires, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, anybody really who has amounted up a very large abundance of success. These people perceive survival and thrival in a different way, which is what we're going to talk about today. See, I had this discussion with my coworker the other day. We were just chilling and we were talking about survival versus thrival and objective versus subjective. When it comes to the objective definition of survival, it's essentially the things, the bare minimum of what our species, me as a human, as an individual, needs to survive. Obviously, we know this: food, water, shelter. But when we take it a step further and we look at the subjective point of view of what I would deem as necessary to survive, this is a whole other ballgame. Action in biology comes from activating the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response. You triggering voluntarily the fight mechanism in your brain to survive. And you do this by telling yourself, must achieve the goals I set to achieve in order to survive the lifestyle I plan to live. If you ever hear a rapper or a singer talk about, oh, I need this Rolls Royce Cullinan, for example. Obviously, nobody needs a Rolls Royce Cullinan. We know this. But ambitious people need to get rich. It's the idea, it's the mental perspective of telling yourself, I need to get this. Therefore, your brain is going to start thinking in patterns that involves figuring out how exactly you can get to this exact achievement. This is why I say subjectively, survival is what you deem as necessary. And this is not stress, because I talked about unnecessary and necessary stress in life. Unnecessary is irrational. It's something that is just not going to be doing you any benefit to kind of overthink or even just like give thought to. Necessary stress is stress that builds you, that grows you, that develops you. The gym is a common example. You become stressed at the gym, physically and mentally. But what does that do to you? You persevere through it and you become stronger mentally and physically. That is what I talk about when I say actual good stress versus bad stress. And you have good stress when you have this method applied to you. It all starts with setting the bar higher, because people nowadays are so comfortable, so distracted, so lazy that the competition is just too light. Like, nobody's competing nowadays. Of course there's the upper echelon of people, but the vast majority of people are too distracted and they just don't care enough because they're too focused on fun. They just want whatever the next hype is, whatever the next media is. Oh, what the Kardashians said, or oh, look at what the football team just did today. Like, everybody's so focused on these distractions. When you actually set the bar higher, focus on yourself with these ambitions, that you realize that, yeah, the competition is nowhere near me. So objectively, you could say this is thriving because you are past the level of surviving. But when you set the bar low, then you could consider that thrival. Anything above what that bar of survival is thrival objectively. So if you tell yourself, okay, even subjectively, my bar is this low, a person that lacks ambition, they're just thriving by breathing because, well, they're not hungry, let's say, they're not thirsty, they have shelter, so they're thriving. But subjectively, if you take this into your own hands and you tell yourself, this is the bar I want to set myself as somebody who is surviving in life, then you will do whatever it takes. It's semantics, but it's really about the mental perspective. Because when you start considering survival as this certain goal or goals that you want to achieve, you start thinking in more positive ways that help you. You start thinking more rationally. You start planning things out. You start enjoying the work that you're doing because you know that it's necessary for what you want to achieve. This is the secret that many of the millionaires, billionaires, many of the successful people in the world have that they don't tell a lot of people. It's simply because everybody's too comfortable nowadays. It's hard for them to understand people on that level. So a lot of them don't even bother. But you guys take the time to actually understand this and apply this, even just for a day. Just apply whatever goal you want to achieve. Say, I need to set this sort of goal so that I survive. And then you will be amazed at the level of work that you put in. It's just night and day difference. I'm telling you guys right now, if you guys learned something new in this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next.